Good morning, everybody. It's the 27th of February, and this morning I'd like to look at the G10 FX cloud chart review for this particular week. We're going to look at the G10 currency pairs, as mentioned, as the usual disclaimer. And these are the currency pairs we'll be covering in today's cloud chart analysis. So I'm going to jump straight into the Pro Real-Time platform and just load my templates. The Australian dollar, US dollar situation here is very much that it's currently fighting old highs as key resistance. There's downside risk to the top end of the cloud here. These old support levels should come in handy for rebound potential. But so far we've had a MACD sell signal here. We are close to resistance, so the consolidation risk back down to the top end of the cloud is quite high. So do expect some weakness to come into play with the Australian dollar, US dollar. Euro, US dollar, yeah, also grinding lower since the MACD sell signal. We're below a key cloud chart, front cloud resistance area. That area didn't come in as support. It's a key resistance area now. And we can see it's fighting for support at the bottom end of the cloud. These old lows here at 105 are significant support zones, but watch this week closely to see if it's going to break through the cloud chart support zone. And if that's the case, we should see some more further downside back down to the bottom end of the cloud here, these old lows here as key support areas. Okay, but currently we still have a MACD sell signal after it met resistance at the top end of the cloud, and we're now looking for support at the bottom end of the cloud. So not yet a rebound. I would be looking for a MACD buy at the bottom end of the cloud support here, but we've not yet seen that. So far, critical week for the euro to either rebound from this bottom end of the cloud, or if support does not hold, we should see further downside. So it's at a critical inflection point. The overall trend currently is still down based on the MACD sell signal we've had. Sterling, US dollar. The situation of sterling is, from a cloud chart perspective, it's been range bound since October, really, between 124, 125, 126, and 120. So currently, it's not a particular good currency to trade from a cloud chart perspective. We've got support here at the bottom end of the cloud here, top end of the cloud here, so that should come in. It's currently being tested today. Further downside could be right down to 122 and 120. What's interesting here is the weekly cloud chart still indicate a long-term downtrend in place with downside risk to 120.82 and then significant long-term downside risk to 114. But currently it's testing the front end of the cloud for support here at 124. But the upside potential is back to the bottom end of the cloud here, but currently looking very weak. Long-term trend remain down based on the Ichimoku cloud chart perspective. But short-term, critical for us to watch these levels here at the cloud, these 123.84 and then the next level 122.28. If it breaks through the bottom end of the cloud, we could see the bottom end of the cloud level to be tested. But overall, looking weak, had a MACD sell, so we're looking at a range bound situation for trade. And if we go back to the New Zealand or US dollar, similar situation here. Found support at the top end of the cloud. It's rebounded from there. Potential upside rally to the top end of the cloud. Old resistance area is not quite the top end of the cloud here, but the front end of the cloud indicates some form of support zone with the significant support here at 71.19. And the top end of the cloud here at 71.34. So watch those levels for a possible test. Could drift lower, rebound from there, and then try and retest the old highs again. We've had a MACD sell, so the net position is short or a sell position with potential support coming in at the top end of the cloud here. So we're watching that very closely. US dollar CAD, trading below the cloud, which is negative. Somewhat of a sideways moving pattern, range bound between 130.29, 1.29, and top end of the cloud here at 132.86. Short-term potential is back up to the bottom end of the cloud to test resistance there. So we can see we've had a MACD buy signal here, so it's a bit of a slow grind. The clouds are flatlining, so it's not a particular good perspective from a position to be in. The clouds is not really indicating a particular strong trend as such. We've got the ADX indicator indicating a very weak trend at the moment, but we've had a MACD buy signal, so it's grinding a little bit sideways to high, to higher, with the potential for a rally back there up to the bottom end of the cloud, yeah, where we should see some resistance come into play. US dollar Swiss franc fighting cloud chart resistance at the bottom end of the cloud. Watch these 1 spot 0103 zone as a key resistance area. Critical for it to maintain momentum above the cloud, because if we stay or close below the cloud this week, we are moving down further with downside risk to 99.48, the bottom in the cloud support, yeah. Okay, we've had a MACD buy signal. Could be an entry point today based on the cloud support here. If it rebounds from there, we should go higher, back up to 105. But we're at a critical point that we need to see it find support at this cloud chart level. Yeah. US dollar Danish krone fighting resistance at the top end of the cloud. Support here, significant support here, is at 7.0160. If it manages to break through this cloud chart resistance, that should be the support zone. We still have a MACD buy signal in place, so the upside potential is the top end of the cloud chart resistance here, as well as these old highs. US dollar Japanese yen still fighting for support at the bottom end of the cloud here. Significant support is this low at 109.90. Critical week to see if it's going to rebound or break through this cloud chart support zone. So it looks like we're forming a double bottom chart formation within the cloud with potential rebound potential from the bottom end of the cloud here back up to the front cloud resistance zone at 115 zone. Okay, so watch that very closely for any type of rebound to come in at this cloud chart support level it's currently testing. US dollar Norwegian krone trading below the cloud, not a particularly good situation to be in. Significant resistance here at 8.472, and is currently fighting for support here at front cloud support level. So this front cloud zone here, the support zone, is a critical level watching. So we could see a rebound back up to the bottom end of the cloud here where it could find resistance. But so far, we've had a MACD buy signal. It's grinding sideways to slightly up with potential profit-taking potential here at the bottom end, top end of the cloud here, where we should see significant resistance coming. US dollar, Swedish krona, similar situation, grinding higher after MACD buy signal, bit of a consolidation here at front cloud support, and now we're going to look for resistance here at 9.075, and that's an area to watch very closely for some profit-taking opportunities in this current rally. So it's going to fight resistance at the bottom end of the cloud, so we are closer to resistance after the rally we've had recently. So watch out very closely for any potential sell signal that's going to come in at the bottom end, top end of the cloud here. Okay. But the euro and sterling, watching it very closely. Sterling for a rebound here or a support failure. That's the critical thing this week. And the euro, we're looking either for a support rebound here or a failure of support here at the bottom end of the cloud. So absolutely two critical weeks to see if it's going to be a breakout or a breakdown in terms of trading for the euro, US dollar, and sterling, US dollar. Okay. And until next time, happy trading.